like to tell you that this podcast is taking me on a roller coaster. So we're recording now?
Love, Death, and Robots is like basketball.
Love, Death, and Robots is about a lot of things, apparently. But this first episode was mostly about death, robots, and cats.
Love, Death, and Robots is love, robots, and death if you're dyslexic.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast, the podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series so that you don't have to. Today, as you may have guessed, we're doing a review of Love, Death, and Robots. And the first episode is entitled 3 Robots. Here to tell you all about it is the co-captain of Fallingtower, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg.
I'll tell you about it in a little bit. First, we have some things we need to do. But I'll tell you guys that I'm wearing my pink shirt in honor of love, my black tie in honor of death, and I don't have anything for robots except for my background. So that's
I will
personality.
be a robot. I will.
Yeah, my
be
personality.
a robot.
If I'm this guy, this is I have this guy's robot personality.
Okay, Bridget, is that a pink shirt or is it more fuchsia?
It is pink. It is a pink shirt.
Pinkish. Yeah.
All right.
It's like checked with like pink and white. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I think
pink. It's
I think it's
navy. It's
hey, that's
beautiful.
Mr. Pink
It's
to you,
beautiful.
buddy. Okay. Look, everybody, if you want us to review a show.
Hey, we also have Bridget here, by the way. Bridget Fitzgerald, the great.
It's me, the great. Yes. As you may recognize me from other times I've been on this podcast.
A frequent guest, a guest host, co-host.
In the past, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's a superstar, basically. My name's Ryan T. Husk, and that's all there is to that. But yeah, if you'd like us to review finally, right? If you'd like us to review a show, which is what we do, in the comments below, just type WTF and the show, like WTF Friends or WTF Will and Grace or WTF. By the way, July is sitcom month, right, Michael? So if you give us WTF and a sitcom, there is a high likelihood that we might consider it.
Especially
Frasier,
if you second somebody's WTF too. So if somebody said WTF Frasier and then like 9 other people are like, yo, that we want to watch that. Then you would probably have to do it then.
Even more
also,
so.
If there's cats, then probably Ryan would be on board with it. So if there's a sitcom with cats in it, go for it. Oh, Friends, there's Smelly Cat.
Yeah, that's true.
Even more so if you tell us where we can find the show. Like if you say
please.
On Hulu or on Netflix or on Disney Plus, that's major points because that means we don't have to do that work. So please give this video a like, share it with your friends. If you don't like this episode, share it with your enemies, teach them a lesson, whatever. But let's go have some fun, everybody, shall we?
Ring that bell.
Remember that song?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Ring my bell.
Ring my bell.
I'm a robot for this episode. I've decided.
Awesome.
Okay.
Maybe you'll all want me dead by the end of it. We'll find out at the end of this episode.
Speaking of the end of this episode, we are going to start this episode with my favorite game, you guys. My favorite game is, well, you know, Michael and I have known each other for a very long time, so we can always, without a doubt, predict if the other person liked it. And by without a doubt, I mean, we haven't been as good lately. Mike's even been able to guess the sounds I make when I watch it. So who knows? Bridget's known us for a good amount of time, and she's smarter than we are. So she's pretty good at this too.
Ooh, man.
Michael. Oh, sorry. What is this first game called?
Well, let me remember. Oh yeah, it's called Predicaments. I almost forgot that I had a thing that I like to do.
Me too.
This first, Ryan was hoping, but sorry, Ryan. But you're the one that asked me today because he likes it. Yep. He really does like it. This first segment is called Predicaments because we put ourselves in a predicament by making our predictions. Ryan.
I thought it's because we liked Mentos, the fresh maker. Okay. Yum. Right. Okay. Michael, I predict, and I'm pretty confident in this prediction. I predict that you like this. I believe that you like this in a manner of enjoyment. Like you enjoyed it, you smiled, you giggled, as Bill Hutchins would say. And I think you will rate it fairly highly, like more than just like a 6 or 7 enjoyment. I feel like you're going to be in a little upper echelon there of enjoyment. Bridget, I feel the same about you. I think that you will like it possibly even more than Michael, but right around the same chapter of likitude.
Echelon.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. What do you think, Michael?
Well, I'll tell you. I've had some thoughts about this subject, Ryan. Yes. How Ryan feels about this one.
Thoughts.
And my thought is that Ryan liked this, especially when the cat shows up. You just look at his background right now. He loves cats. Who doesn't love cats? I love cats, but Ryan really loves cats. He grew up with a ton of cats always.
Cats love me. Okay.
Well, me too. So there. However, thanks. Despite Ryan liking this, I think he's not going to give it super high marks. He's going to give it maybe around a 6 or 6 to 8 mark. However, we've watched some anthology series in the past. And I know that Ryan's going to say this. It's like, that's the sound he would make. It's like, I watched this first episode, but then I don't know what the other episodes are going to be like. So that's the sound that he would make. And that's what he's going to say. So he's not going to watch the second because this first episode is not going to be anything like the second episode because it's an anthology. And Bridget will also like this, especially the kitties.
All right, great. Now it's time for me to guess. Wonderful, fantastic. All right, well, I think I would take all your money because you were smiling the entire time that Michael was talking. So
because I like hearing really from my friend.
Okay. Yeah, real defensive, but I think you really liked this and probably the kitty the most, even though, to be fair, that background behind you, Kitty, is judging you through this entire episode, which means that it's based on a real cat. Like that's how cats are throughout their life. Whether they like you or not, they're like, why? So, Michael, I think probably like this show too. I don't know if I would put him in a particular echelon or tier or trim level. I don't know that I could guess. I mean, maybe you're like I don't know. I think that you probably really. Don't you make those faces at me? You know I'm very susceptible to faces. I don't know. It's a 5. It's an 8. It's a 5. No, I think that Michael really liked it. I don't know if that's an echelon thing, but I just my gut is saying yes. He probably really liked it.
A bold prediction.
Is Echelon like a brand of liquor? It sounds like it should be.
It's like a brand of golf clubs, I think, or golf balls.
Okay, that works. Like that. You know, it sounds kind of, it
sounds like a production studio with a robot in the logo. Echelon.
Yeah. Sounds kind of elitist. So I feel like it would be like an expensive brand of vodka or golf club, expensive, whatever.
Ooh,
anyway. So everybody at home, you've gotten some hints, and you think you might have a good guess as to whether I liked it or Michael liked it or Bridget liked it. So please make your predictions in the live chat right now or in the comments below. And while you're typing that stuff, Michael's going to buy you a little bit of time by telling us all what this show is even about, by the way.
What's it about?
A collection of animated stories, short stories that span various genres, including science fiction, fantasy, horror, and comedy. In this episode, long after the fall of humanity, 3 robots embark on a sightseeing tour of a post-apocalyptic city.
Solid.
I had to switch halfway through because
comedy.
This episode is a comedy. And spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, but then why are you watching this? Because you're going to get a bunch of spoilers.
So that you don't have to. Okay. So
now you know if it's a comedy. If you like comedies, watch this because it's a comedy.
So everybody at home, guess what? It is time for my favorite game that begins after this point.
Right.
Right. So
he doesn't like any other games that we play during the rest of this show.
Nothing
this
else
is the show
starting here. Yeah. Okay. And you know what we do is we like to compare and contrast what we expected before we watched the show versus what we got after we watched the show. And well, Mike's setting us up here.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Ryan loves when I say that this segment is called Expectations. It's the intersection between what we expected versus what we got. Expectations.
Bridget, can you do that? You
Of
seem
course.
pretty pleased.
Yes. La 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 la. I can also do this. Not everyone can. That's genetics.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Not everyone can do that.
I do not have that allele.
Can you do the other fold, the perpendicular fold? Yeah.
No. No, but I'll try.
Mike is disgusted right now. He's like, I'm so sick of your tongues, you guys. And he doesn't mean languages, by the way.
I can do this, though.
Hey.
All right. So here, yes. Here it comes, guys.
Oh, where'd it go?
Okay.
So, Michael, before you watch this first episode of Love, Death, and Robots, entitled 3 Robots, what did you expect, if anything?
I did not expect anything. I didn't know anything about this. I knew that it was on Netflix because Ryan told me that's where we were watching it. And I didn't watch any trailers. Actually, if I don't know anything about a show, I like to go into it without reading the synopsis first. Because then it's like, oh, what is this show even? And it opens up. Oh, well, that's what I got. But what I expected was I expected robots. That's what I expected because Love, Death, and Robots. Okay. So there's robots in it. It's science fiction. We like to do science fiction things. Did somebody recommend this, Ryan?
Yeah, I was when you were gonna be done. Because you reminded me that I should have mentioned who suggested this.
Your cat is judging you so hard. I know. For forgetting.
Dr. Muhammad Noor and Melissa Longo both suggested this. I feel like those got some cheers and some likes as well. So it's definitely more than just the two of them. But they were pretty aggressive about it, so we caved. Yeah.
What does that mean? Pretty aggressive? Like they went backwards and just wrote WTF on everything,
on our walls at home and all that.
WTF? Yeah, you get a letter in the mail, just WTF, Love, Death, Robots.
We were driving down the freeway and we saw graffiti that said WTF, Love, Death, and Robots. I'm like, how did they know we were going to be driving this way?
Yeah, under that it says, "If you know, you know." You know, so that was just for us. Anyway, was that what you expected there, Michael? Was that that's
what I expected? Okay. I didn't expect anything because I didn't know anything about it.
Love it.
No expectations except robots. Yeah, you guessed that from context clues.
It's in the name. Yeah.
Good job.
Bridget, what did you expect though?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, finally. All right, this is the one and only time you guys focus in. Okay. I usually watch a lot of Netflix, right? So I've seen the poster art before. Judging solely based on the poster art, I thought it was gonna be like an emo half-hour drama, like Black Mirror that was animated. That's what I thought. That based on poster art alone, I thought it was gonna be an emo half-hour drama. So that's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be that's what I thought the vibe was going to be. We'll get to what I got later, but that's what I thought.
Well, I can't help but feel like I should say something here. I'll tell you what I got. Wait, what I expected first.
Yeah.
What I expected was, I didn't really know anything about it either. It was suggested to us, so we jumped on it. I feel like
of the robots.
I feel like I had the impression that it was animated. So I don't know if it's because someone told us it was animated when they suggested it or what, but for some reason I had the feeling it was animated. That was really the only thing I expected. Beyond that, I knew it was like acclaimed or at least highly suggested or spoken of. But yeah, I didn't, I think maybe we knew it was an anthology, but I'm not even sure about that either. So really hardly anything. but that's what we expected. We all kind of went into it blind, except for Bridget. She was not blind, but she was blinded by the poster in a way.
Yes.
Michael, what'd you actually get though?
Well, I got robots. That's for sure. I got 3 robots, and I got a show. Apparently, I did some more digging. This is like based on a short story, and man, the guy who wrote the short story, I would like to read that short story now, because this is a very interesting, very fun show with nods to science fiction too. Like the opening shot when Xbox guy here goes walking and he crushes a skull. I mean, that's straight up a nod to Terminator. Right?
Right. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. So I got an enjoyable show with robots. It's actually, I think it's from T2 maybe, where it shows like the future where like the robots are walking, the Terminators, and there's like a human skull, and then like a foot comes down and crushes it. Yeah.
Nice.
Same as this. Same,
except this one, it looked like he had a high heel shoe on when he crushed it. And I thought he was going to be a lady. And then he started talking and I was like, that's not correct. So, oops, my bad. That was another thing I predicted.
It could be genderless. You don't know. Yeah.
Well, he had a male voice. So I feel like they are genderless, but voice actors are voice actors. So I feel like he still had a male voice.
So what'd you end up getting though, eventually, Bridget?
Eventually, I got a much shorter show than I thought I was going to get. I did not expect it to be Adult Swim length at all. Like, I was like, oh. And actually, I truly did not know until now that we don't follow these characters, that it is an anthology. I thought it was like, the further adventures of these 3 robots. And I'm like, okay, great. I did not realize that, but like, good to know. I guess like maybe my thoughts changed as I continued watching like the credits before we started watching the actual thing. Like, because I saw, wasn't there the guy who made Gone Girl was a producer on this or a director on this? That guy was involved somehow. And I like his work. He always makes smart and funny choices. So I was like, well, this is going to be good. And I did get something that was good. So I was happy about that. Now I'm going to look it up. Okay, excuse me. I'm going to go on my phone and look it up. Bridget to Google. Bye. See you later.
I did stand-in work on Gone Girl, but I never saw it. That was like Ben Affleck.
Were you the girl?
Yeah.
Great, wonderful.
They said I had the perfect physique for it. So anyway, I'll tell you what did you
get? That's what I want to know. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. We are perfectly in tune here, in sync. Mm-hmm. Well, what I got was something that was fun.
David Fincher. That's it.
Yeah, David Fincher. Right.
Yeah. Knowledge. He did Gone Girl, and he's a producer on this show. So when I saw David Fincher's name, that's what I got excited about.
Thank goodness.
Sorry, David Fincher. I knew it was you, but I forgot what your name was. So sorry. This is what you get for not calling me in. That's what you get. Yeah. That's what you get.
I think you're going to get more of that now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's really what I got. I got a show that was fun. That I had some qualms with, truth be told.
Oh boy.
And I'm concerned to air these qualms because I feel like Michael and Bridget will get angry with me. When I was watching it, I was like, oh man. And I can't say these because I know Bridget and Michael are going to like it, and then they're going to get mad at me, and then Mike's going to go, ugh.
I love these impressions of each other. Like I'm on board.
That's spot on. He laughed.
That is spot on. Yeah.
The rest of this interview is just you guys as each other in a Freaky Friday situation, because I am on board for that. Like that would be great. Silence. That's what I like. Go.
So you guys,
how about we just talk about our favorite characters first? Michael's favorite character is the little orange guy.
Obviously.
Bridget's favorite character was the little orange guy. Yeah. And my favorite character was the cat. And we all knew that, right?
Obviously. Yeah. It's very clear.
I guess I ruined that segment.
Say triangle person with the hat had several. Triangle person with the hat had several. I don't know who. Lady Robot had several great one-liners, especially when she pretended to be a waitress at the diner for no one.
That was funny.
I thought that was really funny. So I mean, it had a lot of great funny lines, and I enjoyed that a lot.
All the characters were good, especially like the Xbot guy when he finds out like he's the descendant of like a video game console. That was the Xbot 3, and he's Xbot 4000. That's he even took the power button as his second eye because he didn't have an eye for a little bit. So I thought that was hilarious. Obviously, the little guy is a baby. He descended from baby monitors.
That's funny.
That was great.
And the cat, of course, voiced by Chris Parnell.
That's the guy I was trying to figure out. I was going to ask you, Mike, because I don't like to look any of these things up. I don't look up the synopses. I don't know anything about anything. But I was like, I know that guy's voice. He's on Rick and Morty and Saturday Night Live. What's his name? But it's Chris Parnell. That's the guy. Oh, there's Parn. Bridget is a cat. Yep, Parn.
Yeah, well, guys, you keep talking, and then I start playing with my phone, and then I start playing with the avatars. You know how I do. I also thought that the guy who was doing the cat voice was the guy who played the cat in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So I definitely did not look this up. No, did not.
Okay. I thought it was very clever the way they made the triangle robot have the movement, the articulation up at, for her head ish. I don't know why I enjoyed that, but when she was dancing to the jukebox and just that the head thing was moving, I was like, that's really clever. It's creative to me.
You can also see here though that there was articulation down here.
Yeah, but we didn't.
She can sit down on the couch.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's really interesting. I think that kind of stuff is super creative when they try to think of what are different ways that these robots can move or be or function that hasn't been done before. And I feel like that hasn't been done before. It kind of looks like a Dalek, but right, Michael? But,
it totally looks like a Dalek.
I mean, just the way it's like a big thing.
A big thing.
Without arms. Do they have arms? They don't have arms, do they?
They do. They have appendages.
Oh, they do? Okay, then never mind.
Yeah. They've got
I don't watch that show.
Appendage that looks like a whisk, which is a laser. And they've got another appendage that looks like a plunger.
That's embarrassing. Get a hold of yourselves.
Yeah, but they were created back in the 60s though, Ryan.
Yeah. They're old school. I think I read somewhere that the Queen liked that so much that the one person that she didn't give a Sir knighthood to was the one who had canceled Doctor Who, and that was the one runner of the BBC that she did not give a knighthood to.
Wow.
Drama.
Yeah.
I mean, drama. That's some drama.
That's abuse of power, I think.
I agree.
Oh, does she have power though? It's just an honorary title. So
she's drunk on power. Yeah. Power from the people.
If she could, she'd give all her corgis knighthoods. I'm sure of it. I'm 100% on that. Eve Ensler, let me know. Eve England, let me know.
Oh, yeah.
Eve Ensler is someone else who I hope is watching.
Eve knows,
That would be amazing. She wrote the vagina monologues. Sorry about that. Wrong Eve.
We can't say the V word on this show.
Why not?
Michael?
Say why not?
Vagina.
So here are some funny points on this show for me. And by the way, we did some ahead of time digging just to make sure that this wasn't like an hour and a half show. So we were aware that it was short. That's also kind of a plus, because then we're like, hey,
short things,
17 minutes, no problem. I can squeeze that into my schedule. Now, when they said the little guy was like, they had all sorts of orifices, that conversation was very funny. I thought that was funny, especially the delivery. I also thought it was funny.
Also, so there was they were looking at a hamburger, and everything else is like totally decomposed, but this hamburger is like still, I mean, it's not in pristine condition, but it's still there. And that, I think that there was some experiments with like McDonald's hamburgers. They left them and they just didn't deteriorate at all. So that's tells you what you're putting into your body when you eat McDonald's.
Like Twinkies, like how Twinkies can just last for decades and they don't change.
I mean, like the people's bodies were like rotted and gone. We saw skeletons all over the place. Like, in fact, the opening shot was just a skeleton in a car. I remember because my first thought was, oh, traffic is murder.
That's funny.
But
that was ba-dum-bum.
Yeah.
Sorry. I really like making this cat mouth move. I'm sure I have to be a human again, but not today, my friends.
Whenever.
Not today.
It works. I also thought it was very funny when
why don't we all go around saying some funny moments that we liked?
Okay.
For instance, I liked when the triangle robot said bouncing things was close to their cognitive range. Kind of talking smack about humans because they were talking about like, oh, what do they do with this thing? They like to bounce it. And by the way, why is there this is probably one of Ryan's qualms. Why is there a fully inflated basketball there after all those years?
Well, close. I will say that when he was going to bounce it, I did fully expected it to not bounce and to be flat. Because when there's the ball, you're right, it runs out of,
air.
The air leaks out. And so when you throw it down, it would just go, and that's what I thought the gag was going to be. However, I was even sadder to see that they don't know how to animate a bouncing basketball. When it bounced, it stayed up in the air way too long. Anybody that's seen a basketball bounce knows beyond a shot. Watch that video again. I was like, what? I rewound and watched it again. I'm like, what are they doing? It bounced and then it floated up there way too long. And I'm like, how hard would it have been for them to just go outside, bounce a basketball, record that, and then animate it based on that? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, my naked eye can tell you that is not the physics of a bouncing basketball. And I was very upset about that.
So that completely took Ryan out of it. So he couldn't pay attention to anything else.
It did for a minute, yeah.
Thinking about that basketball.
Yeah, take that, animators who worked for a while on this show. Ryan Husk is coming for you. That is crazy.
Yeah, well.
Wild.
And not just the animators, but the people like the directors or the producers that see that. And nobody goes like, that's not, I've seen a ball bounce before in my life. I know what it looks like and it doesn't look like that. Anyway, but
see, I was focusing on the humor and Ryan's like, that's not how a ball, I didn't even notice it because I was just like enjoying it. So
yeah, it was funny. What did you think was funny, Bridget? Bridget the dog?
Well, Bridget the dog. I really enjoyed a lot of it. I'm not going to lie. Like,
everybody that's just listening to the audio podcast, I just want to let you know, I'm not calling her a dog. She has changed her avatar to look like a dog right now. I just realized people listening are like, this guy's a
my
dick.
inner self. My inner self right now is you can call me what I am, the B word. Although if you can't say anatomy, I highly doubt you can say that. But anyway, no, I am playing with filters. If you are listening, this is my voice as I would sound voicing a dog. Yes. I figured since this is an animated show, why not spend most of this animated? Guys, seriously, I'm doing it for you. If you ever check out the YouTube of this, you will understand my means. You will understand my motives. And then I'm raising my eyebrows as often as possible. Sorry, I blew out your speakers.
She's just having fun watching the animated dog face open its mouth and its eyebrows. But I'm sorry for interrupting you, Bridget, about what you thought was funny.
I started this, so I don't know why I'm getting to go twice, but I totally will. That's fine. I don't know all of it. I don't know. Like I again will go back to saying that I really liked when the girl robot was playing, they are all genderless, but when she was playing a diner person, I really enjoyed that. I also will say this, fun fact that I'm going to add into the conversation, just pepper it in there, that I did not realize that like the cat at a distance looked very real. But then when he got closer, I was like, that is animated. Like I thought, oh man, like at first I was like, real cat? Are they using like some like mixed media type situation, like pulling some like, I don't know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit business up in here, but it was not. So,
oh geez, sorry, animator that worked on this show for a while.
Oh, don't try to get the heat off of you.
I think that's a credit to the animator because it looks so realistic.
Exactly.
No, you're saying that when you saw the cat's face, you're like, oh, this is so fake right now.
Well, because at a distance, he like moved like a kitty. I was like, that's totally a cat. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, never mind.
Good job, animators.
Yeah.
Well, here's another funny moment to my eyes and ears was when the cat first appears and then the cat ends up walking towards them. And of course, we all start thinking, oh boy, they're in for it because cats are such rascals. And then the cat jumps on his lap.
Yeah, we are.
And they're like, what do we do?
Oh,
he says, wait till it decides to get up again. And I'm like, that's a cat joke. That's a cat lover's joke because we know they'll just sit there forever. And we'll do everything in our power to not. And if you like pick it up and like go like this, somehow it falls diagonally and back onto your lap. Like, cats are crazy.
Yeah, they also like keyboards. They like sitting on those. They like hopping up when you're on a conference call or just like a little tail that goes in and out of the whole picture. Yeah.
And Bridget, you're too young to know this, but Michael and I know that they also love newspapers. If you've ever read the newspaper, the cat likes to enjoy a nice nap right on your sports section when you're trying to have breakfast in the sports section.
I've never read the sports section, so I don't know.
Is that like an old-fashioned app? Is that what that is? Okay.
It's like Facebook, kind of,
Paper Facebook.
Yeah.
Cool, because I get all my news from Facebook. So thanks for explaining.
Maybe if you run your appendages across its body. And it starts purring.
That was cute.
Like, I like the joke that the cat plays on them where they have to keep like petting him. Like that was another great joke. Sorry, I really blew up this episode. Guys, there's no reason for you to watch it now unless you want to enjoy all the things that we're talking about. Sorry, spoiler alert.
No, it's okay.
And so another thing I'll say is that I'll spoil another thing for everybody. I talked about the voice of the cat was Chris Parnell. The cat can talk. And not only that, they're very aware. And so he knew the whole time when they were petting him and they thought if they stopped petting him, he would blow up. He knew it. He was using it to take advantage of that to get some pets. Sounds like something my cat would do.
Oh, man.
All cats. They're little stinkers. Speaking of little stinkers, I thought it was also funny when I think it was maybe the orange guy was doing the little impression of pretend to be someone's mom. Oh, son, your skin and bones. Oi. That was also a funny impression. The teabagging thing, of course, made us all giggle. I also thought it was funny when he looked up what teabagging was and the cat was on his shoulder. It was a subtle thing, but the cat hissed. When he saw it, he's like, the cat hissed at the picture. So I thought that was funny. That's what I thought. All right.
I don't know what you guys thought about this part, but I thought this was pretty funny. At the very end, not the very, very end, but like right when they're looking at the missile and they're saying, oh, is this what destroyed the humans? And then like the lady robot, she's like, no, it was their own hubris ended their reign. And she goes into this long spiel about like, not taking care of the plant life and all like that. And then she's like, really, I just try not to say that they screwed themselves by being morons. I thought that was insightful, number one, but a funny way to be insightful as well.
Oh, yeah. This show was surprising. Like, it was surprisingly sharp. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, this is great. Because I feel like maybe because of you guys, I watch a lot of TV now. And I feel like it was
we watched the first of a lot of things now.
Yeah, we do.
I never watched the second. That's for other people. I just watched the first and keep
Spoiler
rolling.
alert.
Keep rolling. Yeah. Just kidding. Yeah. I did finish the rest of Star Trek Discovery, so I was very happy. I've been working on that, and I've all caught up on Strange New Worlds. So
such a good one.
You know what Star Trek Discovery is great at? Science. which is something that this show was not good at. Okay, here's another example of
You're
physics.
so mad at Gravity right now.
Oh, no, that show. I thought you meant our show.
Gravity.
No, physics. Okay, I was actually, here's the key. At the beginning of the show,
finally, you give us the key.
Yeah, in the first minute or two, there's this really great shot where they're walking along a city. And I don't know if you caught it, but there was a giant like battleship stuck into a building. Did you see that? So my first thought when I saw that was, whoa, awesome. And I went back to watch it again because that's a fun, interesting concept and makes you go, wow, that's really cool. Did I just see a ship stuck? And then I rewound it. I saw it. And then all of a sudden I was like, that wouldn't happen. That's not, no way.
You don't know that.
The way physics work, first of all, like if it were stuck in there, right? If it were there, it wouldn't stay there. If 75% of the ship is sticking out and a quarter of it is sticking in a building, which is honeycomb interior, it would crush and slide out, first of all, okay? But then when I thought about it more, I was like, it wouldn't even get stuck in there in the first place. If it's going presumably from a tsunami, right? That's what we're to assume, a 200-foot tsunami, because it's like 20 stories up. If it's going at a building like this, first of all, it would have to be like 100% perpendicular to the building to go inside a building like that, right? Which is statistical improbability, probably impossibility, right? But more likely, and what's really, there's the sound coming, but what's really going to happen for anybody that's ever seen a stick going into dirt or into moss or into even sea foam or anything, it doesn't go and stick in there. It goes boom, and then and it keeps going because that's what a tsunami is. It's constant pressure from behind pushing it. So anyway, I was like, that took me completely out of it because I'm like, this is not a real thing that can happen. It looks cool.
But thinking what that was in the background that you're not even supposed to pay attention to really took you out of the whole show.
I just felt like consult some scientists if you're going to do science fiction. I don't know. Anyway,
that's why it's fiction, though.
I will say
it could have been aliens. We don't know that it was a wave.
I'm really glad that you didn't watch Looney Tunes because your mind would have been blown by the things that they do.
Nope, but I'll tell you,
like there's whole people that like have things falling from the sky at all times on them. Sometimes they run off a cliff and it's like forever before they get to the bottom of the cliff.
It could have been super strong magnets. You don't know.
We do know because they told us at the end what caused the demise.
Sure.
And it was weather, basically, right? It was climate. So everything, because it's like aliens, who knows what they did? Who knows what technology they had?
But what about this though? What if humans destroyed themselves because of climate? But then after that, when that's done already, aliens come to Earth and they play around with, like how Darth plays with Star Wars figures. They're like, oh, look at these little toy figures here. Oh, let's just take this battleship and ram it into this building.
Totally possible.
It's a whole Spaceballs moment, I think, is what Michael is referring to. And
totally
I'll second it. I'll also say, hey, who built these robots that we are following around? Who's to say that they are the humans that built these robots? Because they don't know anything about humans. So how do you know that aliens didn't come and make these robots and then leave them there to explore the planet?
Oh, I just thought that they came from outer space somewhere. Yeah, I didn't even really put
the robots.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that.
Well, then why does that bother you then? That there could be a possible alien reason for that.
But they told us that Xbot is a descendant of the Xbot 3.
Well, they just guessed that because of his name, because it was Xbox Xbot. Like that.
Yeah, but baby the eye is the same as the power button, and this guy's a baby monitor. It made sense to me that they came from
disbelief on that.
So
but then why do they not know anything about humans if they're made by humans?
That's a good point, though, too. Yeah.
Like,
it might have just been made by other machines.
Yeah, just like the
3,000 generations.
Terminators.
Well, then how old is that freaking hamburger? Like, how old is that burger?
Old. Very old.
Don't eat that. Don't put it in your spleens, in your whatever orifices. They don't need to be there. Gross.
I don't.
Gross. Yeah, please stop.
One more thing too. By the way, there were a couple There was one that bothered me, but I think Michael successfully explained it away. Was when that robot stepped on the skull and crushed it. My first thought was that robot's got to be like extremely heavy, very, very, very heavy. Because I can't imagine skulls are that brittle. But then when you said it was like an homage to Terminator, and I do remember that, I was like, oh, well then that's cute. I like. I accept that.
Brittle. They're only like a thin layer of bone. How hard do you think it is to crush a skull? I don't think it's that hard. And I'm not like out here crushing skulls before anyone who's listening to this.
I think it's pretty tough.
Like Bridget Fitzgerald has been out here crushing skulls. I'm not crushing skulls on the weekends, guys, but I'm just saying that I've been to the catacombs in Paris. There are like skulls there, lots of them. And some of them have holes in them. And I don't think any robots were involved in the making of those holes.
Well, they might get more brittle as they.
Oh, I think they were.
The older they get, too, right?
Well, but you also like during operations, you sometimes will have to break a skull if you need to go into like
with a saw.
So I feel like it doesn't have.
They don't just use like a little egg cracker.
But if a bone is in your body while you're alive, the bone is alive too. I mean, the bone has like blood running through it and like marrow.
My point is that you're saying like this is Fort Knox and it's not. Otherwise, if you jumped off a building, no one would ever break bones. Like they're very brittle. Like brittle bones are a thing. And so like he doesn't have to be crazy heavy in order to break this skull. It's just a thin layer. Like that's what the skull is outside. And
I think a skull is harder than that. That's my understanding.
Guys, let us know in the chats, especially if you're a skull expert. If you go crushing skulls on the weekends, please let us know regarding the skull question.
Yeah, Dr. Mohammed Noor probably has an answer. I'm guessing that the skull is harder to break when it's in your living body.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's my hypothesis. So,
so the other thing, and this is just more of a question. Let's say that climate change and all these things.
Forget you statements.
Wiped out all of humanity, which is entirely possible and what theoretically happened in this show. So what climate related event would make it to where a person died in a diner waiting for his or her burger? Like that, when you think about it,
I mean,
and then just left there.
If it is like some situation like global warming or something like that, or like an extreme, I don't know. Like I feel like some sort of geo event would have had to take place in order for everybody to die, right? We're talking about something that's catastrophic. So maybe if it's a catastrophic,
and it would have to be instant for him to be left there as well, like instant where he dies, everyone dies. I don't know.
Everyone dies, but his bones are there. Like his bones are still there. Right.
Unless
that
was his favorite diner.
Yeah.
He knew he was dying. And that was the spot that he always sat in. And he's like, I want to die here. This is going to be the place where I die.
I mean,
but the owners are like, get the hell out of here.
Some sort of everything's gas situation could have like straight up killed him in that.
Yes.
Right?
Good theory.
World War I, like people died in trenches thanks to like gas, right? So I feel like something like that could have easily been like an offshoot of like some sort of weird chemicals that happened because of heat. We
solved it. Okay, next question.
That's it. Yay! That was the other one that I was like, I don't know. It was fun, but whatever. Anyway, well, that was fun, you guys. Boy, I really enjoyed you guys trying to poop on my theories there. But I think I do want to hear from the people in the live chat, as Bridget said. Skulls.
Yeah, especially if you can poop on his theories. Please shout it out in the live chat.
Yeah.
Poop on those theories. Please.
Diarrhea all over those theories.
You scientists out there, let them know that that's a 400-foot boat, 25% in a 200-foot story building with 75% of it stick. That's not a real.
Honestly, for something that's less than a half hour long, you really gave Ryan food for thought. So thank you. Love, Death, and Robots.
We had to. We only had 17 minutes of show to
go. I'm so proud of you. Way to go, 3 Robots, episode 1.
Speaking of which, Bridget Fitzgerald, let's talk about you for a minute, shall we?
Oh, okay. I'm going to take off my filter.
No, you got to leave it on now. You had it on this whole show.
Yep, it's me again. It's me.
Hey, you're Bridget. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I'm still wearing that cool dress. Hello. Guys, I've been up to a lot. I know. I look better as a cat. I love cats. I used to have a cat named Pepper. R.I.P. Pepper. R.I.P. Yeah.
Was the cat a doctor?
Was the cat a doctor? No, sadly, no Dr. Pepper in the family. See, right
now Ryan's going, ugh.
Yeah, I see him enjoying it and rolling his eyes so he gets a good stretch in while he does it. So he's doing great. But yeah, I've been
tell us. Yeah, what's all this stuff you've been up to? I want to hear more about it.
I've been doing a lot of web series while I was out in a boot.
Fun.
I did a sketch comedy web series that's about to come out called Crypto Dingo, where it's all crypto related. So I Googled a lot of crypto things to be ready for these episodes and to make people laugh. And then let's see what else. Oh, I am performing as a mime on a YouTube channel called Retro Circ, doing intros and outros. I actually perform as two different mimes. They are very silly, but if you like retro TV, then that's an outlet for you. I also have been doing cool interactive games where I'm playing a general. Like if you remember the movie Red Dawn, like it's based on that. It's an off-road rally meets an escape room, and it's called Smuggler's Run. So basically it's like 25 Jeeps all meet up in Orange County. I play a general that we're under siege the same way that, they are at the beginning of Red Dawn. We've been invaded. America's been invaded. And so they have to smuggle to get some technology. And so they're going off-roading, they're solving puzzles, they're going to different stations. And it ends like a long way away from, like it's a whole day. Like there's a lunch break at a rebel base. And then they like have a rebel party at the end of it when they, finish their smuggling run. So it's super fun. And actually, I want to drop a link for you guys. And let's just say I did down there below, where you can see a whole video of me as the general. It's like a call to action. And it's really fun because I actually made that video too. So it was a really fun day of like shooting and like writing, and I love making people laugh. So it was very, very lovely for me.
Let me predict that you've got background music during your video that says that goes like nothing but a Jeep thing, baby, right?
I wish I did. Now I just want to sample you singing that and then like put that. Nothing but a Jeep.
How are you going to get the rights to that, Ryan?
Oh man, yeah, I've got to.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And if only. But guys, no, it's seriously a great time.
What if you don't have a Jeep? Can you still participate?
Oh yeah. There's plenty of different cars, but like a lot of them, people that love off-roading, a lot of them do own Jeeps, so that's why the majority of them were Jeep owners.
So it has to be an off-road vehicle.
4Runner or something like that. They offered, like I have a little Toyota Yaris, and they were like, "We'll just throw some big tires on there," and I was just like, "No, I don't need my Yaris lifted. I'm good." So it was super fun. But yeah, I mean, if you've ever gone off-roading, like it's really fun, and you can follow like a trail boss who will like show you how to go through it. It's a fun way to learn if you're with a family and you've never taken your vehicle off-roading. Like that's fun too. We had a couple of people like that, and that was really fun because it was like families with kids, and you pay per vehicle rather than per person. So it was like really cool.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
should we lift Ryan's Honda?
Yes, get it. Come on.
I don't know if that would look good. Although I will say, if anybody out there had micro machines, remember the micro machines? Some of them had like the Bigfoot micro machines. There was like a whole collection of like 8 of them or something, right? And you could unscrew the wheels and put the Bigfoot wheels on any of the cars. So you could have like a Bigfoot RX-7 or a Bigfoot Corvette or a Bigfoot.
I feel like I remember seeing like a Volkswagen Bug with like that was like lifted or something.
I saw like a lifted Porsche on one of these videos that were like off-roading, and I was like, that is crazy that you would do that to that car, but I love it. Like, also, I love it. I also, can I tell you this, as people who love sci-fi like myself, it was really cool to make this call to arms type video because in my head I was channeling all my Princess Leia vibes to be like, you're my only hope. And then also like speaking of Terminator, like Sarah Connor, I was like trying to harness like my strong, powerful sci-fi leading ladies and you know the Sigourney Weaver vibes. Like I was trying to go for all of them, an amalgam of it. So I had a great time. So very grateful.
Nice.
Yeah,
great use of the word amalgam.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I do that New York Times puzzle every day. I really need to use my vocab.
I only learned that word because it was amalgamate was like the album name of like Filter's second album, I think. Second or third album by Filter like 20 years ago.
Amalgam album.
Amalgam album.
Amalgam.
That's fun. I feel like that's a warm up. Amalgam. Like try to say it 3 times.
Oh yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Amalgam album.
It's really hard.
Tricky. That's another good song.
Try it. Ryan.
No, I'm shy, and we have to move on.
Do it. Your cat is judging you.
Oh yeah, sorry, kitty. You're right. I'm sorry. All right. Well,
looking at a laser pointer slightly to your left.
Let's move forward to Michael's karate chop.
We will drop all those links in the description below. So check those. Check the description. Read it. Click the links.
Yeah.
Go to where the links take you. Yeah, definitely. Most importantly, enjoy it.
Yes. I will drop it on my YouTube page as well. It's on the sliders that says featuring Bridget Fitzgerald. I also have a slider for featuring Bridget on WTF because I've been on here so many times that I was like, I'm just going to put them all in one place.
That's a brilliant idea too.
And make it easy on you. So if you want to see the best of the bridge on WTF, that's there.
Whose jingle is that? That's like a commercial. We make it easy on you. Some kind of.
Ryan just loves using licensed music that we have no license to.
Well, I didn't go into drop it like it's hot when she said drop it, but whatever. Snoo. Speaking of death lasers, they're coming out of Mike's eyes right now. Anyway, all right, here we go. It's time for the
bottom line.
The final 2 questions of the show. It's the terrible twos. Everybody knows.
Bottom line.
Question number 1.
Bridget knows the bottom line.
I know.
She knows.
Feeling boxy.
We all said it. All right. So question number 1, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this first episode of Love, Death, and Robots entitled A 3 Robots?
Yeah. I just give it a straight 7. I enjoyed it a lot, but as far as like there was not a whole lot of like story that was like going to be like compelling me to be like, oh, this is such an interesting story, I need to watch. It was just a lot of fun, and so for that 3 robots, you get a 7. Congratulations!
Congrats! Woo!
Celebrate!
Yeah.
However, on the flip side of things, Bridget Fitzgerald, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this first episode? Higher or lower than Michael Kenyon Rosenberg? My guess is higher. Survey says.
Survey is correct. Ding, 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 ding. I said it's an 8 because 8 is great, and so is this show. I had a great time. Yeah. It was fun. Mm-hmm. It made me laugh. Mm-hmm. And I honestly don't get surprised that often. Maybe again, I do watch too much TV, but this one surprised me. So that gives it high marks in my Foxy book.
I was surprised a little bit by 2 things. One was I was surprised that I actually enjoyed it less than I expected based on how much it was, seemed to be revered and by whom. Because I usually, you trust the people and you go, oh, then maybe I will like this one. But I was also surprised that I actually wished it was longer. I would have, I wanted a few, right? Normally I'm like, oh, great, it's over super early. But this time I was like, I would have liked to see more of these. I really like the characters. And I would have been happy to see 5 or 10 minutes more of character development and more about the story, So surprisingly, I actually think it suffered from being so short. Personally, I think. I gave it a 5.5. Sorry to say, 5.5. I found it to be enjoyable.
Better than average.
Yep. Enjoyable. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, for the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Love, Death, and Robots. But now that the podcast is over and we're free to move about the internet, would you, of your own volition, watch the second episode?
So this is an anthology series, so every episode would be different. However, I did see that they revisited these 3 characters.
I saw that too.
In the 3rd season. So yeah,
because when you go onto Netflix, sometimes it starts on season 3 or something like that, and it said 3 robots and something else. So I was, maybe that's
strategy. Yeah.
My mind is blown.
Yeah. So, but I looked. Obviously, I scrolled down to see what's the second episode. How long is that one? What's it about? That kind of thing. In preparation to answer this question, because the next episode is not going to have anything to do with this episode. These 3 characters, they're done until the 3rd season. And so what happens now with the second episode? Would I watch it? So just scrolling down, I saw that they're all like 12 to 17-ish minutes, maybe 18 is like the longest one that I saw. And so, yeah, why not? I would watch it. Sure. If I've got like 15 to 20 minutes to kill, and I want to watch something, but I don't want to watch something like 23 minutes or long or a half hour, because I'm like, I got to go to bed soon. I don't want to have to get into something. I just want to watch something fun. Then yeah, I would definitely watch this one. I would definitely watch the second.
Interesting. So Michael was just as influenced by his research afterwards than the first episode. Cool. Bridget, would you watch the second, however?
I have to tell you that this podcast is taking me on a roller coaster because at the beginning, when you said it was an anthology and we'll never see these people again, I was like, never watching again. And then you said, we might see them again, 2 seasons later. And then I'm like, maybe I fast forward to those episodes because I really like these robots. Honestly, I have the reverse effect. I feel more like Ryan than I do like Mike with the length of this episode. I wish it was longer because I really enjoyed the characters and I really was having fun with the vibes of this episode. It was smart and it was funny, it was playful, and I was just I love all those things together. That's like a perfect Venn diagram of everything I love. So with that in mind, I'd probably watch that season 3 episode and just see what happens with them. But as far as going in, it feels like the reason I don't watch kids TV is because I like a longer format. I don't like feeling and it's done. And it's done. And it's done. There's only 2 shows that I've watched that consistently that were on a big screen and not just a TikTok thing or something like that. That were short forms. I would say that I've watched a couple of the Peacock shows. There was one called what was it, Murder House, where they they revamp a house where a murderer was in and remake it up, and that was really fascinating to watch. And those were about I would say I don't know, 10-minute episodes, 7-minute episodes, something like that. And then there was another one with called Die Hard, I think, with and that was really funny. It was just another action comedy, and I thought that was really funny too, so I watched that one too. But as far as the length, I feel like this is why I don't watch Coco Melon. Also, I'm a grown-up. So.
Coco Melon? I haven't heard of any of these things.
Isn't that a child's show that's really popular now? Guys, I'm an aunt. Did you know? I have many.
Look like a fox.
Always. Yeah.
Bump.
Yes. But actually, I do know children. Not I keep them in my basement, but I do know of them, and their programming is much shorter than ours. Peppa Pig is very short, and I don't think I could watch those because I need something a little bit longer.
So
guys, please watch the first Peppa Pig here. Make them vamp for an hour about Peppa Pig, please. Ryan's smiling. For those who are listening,
it's
Ryan
short.
is
It's short.
He cannot wait to do Peppa Pig.
It's short. I'll say this. Bridget started the campaign for us to watch My Little Pony.
Yes. And wasn't it one of the best episodes, guys? Shout it out.
According to Rico.
It was one of the best episodes of the show.
Yeah.
No, I love this. I thought it was highly watchable. It was one of my favorite ones of WTF that I've ever seen. And I wasn't even in it. So that's saying something.
Well, thank you. That's high praise.
I agree. Thank you. Yeah. You heard it here first, people. WTF Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
And watch our My Little Pony. Yes. It is episode number 74. That's WTF 74 with Rico E. Anderson and Darth F.S. Shuey.
How many have there been so far?
Of this show?
Yeah. What are we on right now?
This is 118. What?
Ooh,
episode 118. Yep.
Yeah.
That's nice. Ooh, baby. Yeah.
So Bridget, I couldn't help but notice that you didn't quite answer the question.
The real
you
question.
Said you would watch the next season 3, and so I started to type in yes. But then when you just said that episode, I had to delete the yes.
Why does that not count?
That's not the second episode.
The second, yeah.
Oh. Jury's still out. Probably not. I would skip ahead, I guess. Why does that not count? I feel like that's really not.
The question is, would you watch the second?
If it's an anthology, then I'm watching a second episode. It's not the second episode, and that's just splitting hairs.
That's what we do. We watch the first and we ask about the second. Those are the only two things.
Or sometimes Ryan will watch the second on accident and we ask him if he would watch the first.
That's happened.
What happened? When was that? Was that Star Trek, the original series?
Altered Carbon.
Yeah, Altered Beast.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
I was like, it was dumb. They weren't explaining much. And they're like, well, you didn't watch the first episode. That's why.
That's funny.
I was like, okay, well,
great.
Yeah. So that was a little.
Did you guys watch Yellow Jackets yet? You already watched that?
No. WTF
guys, watch the
Jackets.
first Yellow Jackets. That one's great. I'm watching that now too. Guys, I have a lot of things. Apparently, I like TV.
But Ryan,
which, yep, here
we want to know.
Well, this is easy.
You, of your own volition.
Yeah.
This is easy because for me, Bridget basically gave my answer for me, which is I feel like I don't have any reason to watch the second episode. I'm not planning on it. So it's a no.
Just like I predicted. Yeah.
But I think I may actually go watch season 3, episode 1, just to watch, just out of curiosity.
To see what happened.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity to revisit these guys. And also just to see like what they're doing with it. Like, are they, it's interesting to think that they'll have a part 2 in an anthology series. Like, are they going to have a part 3? Are they going to have, what's the story there? It's a kind of just a curiosity about the series structure.
I don't even know that it's a continuation of this first episode. It might just be them on a completely different adventure. So
it might not even be them.
Be down with that.
It's them. It is them.
It's them. Michael wouldn't lie to us and set us up. That's not Michael's jam.
It's not my jam.
It's mine though.
You, Ryan.
One of my personal core values is honesty.
I'm gonna get me.
Yeah. So I guess that's about it, everybody. If you'd like us to review a show like Porky Pig, what was the pig thing? Peppa Pig.
Right?
Then
or Coco Melon. Really get hardcore on these children's.
Is that like a bikini thing?
No, I don't know why
the coconut
are you
bikinis?
Pretending that you've never heard of this? This is one of the most popular children's.
Heard of Lululemon
right now. I'm very confused. Lululemon is a yoga company. Like they make yoga clothing.
Oh.
You need to do more yoga and watch Coco Melon. WTF. I'll just write it in everything. I'm gonna go really aggro on you guys and just go back in time and just rewrite, like put on all of the ones where I am a WTF of different children's shows. Do I have the free time? Let's all find it.
We'll do it. Maybe we'll have an entire month of children's shows because you guys, July,
good idea.
July is sitcom month. August is
superhero.
September is probably going to be like Saturday morning cartoons where, we're really close on that, but definitely cartoons, animated kind of stuff.
Did you do like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new and old Ninja Turtles?
We have not. No.
Not yet.
Well,
but October is obviously going to be horror month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
So everybody at home, go ahead and let us know what you'd like us to watch in the comments below so that they stay there forever, not just in the live chat. And
I'm pointing my hand down, but the avatar doesn't have hands.
Oh, bummer.
So I'm pointing it down.
So other than that, just make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Share it with your friends.
Ring that bell.
And, this podcast was foxy.
Yeah, you know it.
This podcast was not robotic, but it was a love, and hopefully it doesn't end in death.
This podcast is death now because it's over. So sad.
Aww.
Rest in peace, podcast.
Speaking of pieces, everybody remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg always likes to say.
Well, if you're thinking about dying, make sure that before that you register to be an organ donor. I wouldn't recommend it, but you never know when you're going to die, so just register anyway. But then once you've done that 3 or 4 times, then make sure to watch the first of things.